But these people used discernment. They looked at who he was and they said, no, we know that that's him. That can't be his brother. That can't be anyone else. That can't be somebody who looks like him. We know exactly who he is. And then, because they recognized him, they were prompted to go and to bring other people to him. So why does that matter to us? Why does it matter that they used discernment in knowing who Jesus was and who they were telling people Jesus was? The reason is this, is because we today, as we seek to fulfill the Great Commission here to our neighbors in the nations, we must use great discernment in who we proclaim Jesus to be. Because we want to make sure that we are proclaiming the biblical Jesus to our neighbors and the nations. We are not proclaiming the white Jesus, the black Jesus, the social Jesus. We're not proclaiming the prosperity Jesus, the Baptist Jesus, the Kansas Jesus. Our goal should be to proclaim the biblical Jesus. I'm afraid that if Jesus were to walk in the flesh into many churches today, people would dismiss that it could possibly be him because they wouldn't even recognize him as the color of his own skin. We must be careful that we proclaim the true biblical saving Son of God, Lamb of God, Lion of Judah, Jesus, so that people can follow the true Jesus. It's not so much just about us being wrong for us, but it's about us being wrong for other people as well. That's the danger. You see, they used physical discernment. They looked at him and said, I recognize this about him. I recognize his voice. I recognize his face. I know this is him. They used physical discernment to know who he was. We today must use spiritual and biblical discernment to proclaim who Jesus is so that people really know who he is. What a shame it would be if we proclaimed Jesus to be someone who he isn't. Now, does that mean that we or I have it all figured out? Of course not. That doesn't mean that I have it all figured out and I know exactly how he would be and who he was and all of that. But there are things that the Bible is absolutely, positively clear about. That he is God, that he was born of a virgin, that he was not created, he did not become God, he was God in the beginning, he was God at his birth, he was God at his death, burial, and resurrection, that he is the sacrifice, the atonement for our sin, that he is risen from the dead, that he sits at the right hand of the Father, that he is given grace and that he will come in justice, that he has both of those things and he can't have either one without the other one. We must proclaim Jesus to be who Jesus is, because he is the only one who saves. A counterfeit Jesus can't save.